Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 450,000 mile update video for my 2019 Chevy Bolt. So, before I get into all the stuff I've had done between 400,000 and 450,000, I did just want to give a shout out and a thanks to everyone that has managed to donate to my GoFundMe as of this recording on November 5th, 2025. I did a video just recently saying that I had raised $615, but as of this video, it is now up to $915. So I am, with every donation, I am just amazed at the generosity of everyone that has donated. Now, the description will have the link still for the GoFundMe for anyone that hasn't donated, that would like to donate, or if you don't have the ability to donate but maybe know someone who could just throw a coffee's worth at me, that would be unbelievably grateful and helpful. So, I'm currently charging, as you can see, and it is 44 degrees. So that has partly to do with why it's going so slow. Um, Thank you, winter. But all right, so let's just get into this, I suppose. In April of this year, obviously, I replaced my old tires with my tires that I figured were going to essentially get me to where I am right now. Those were the Milestone tires. I believe it was the MS 932 Sports. And they were awful. I didn't even have them a whole month before I got rid of them, using the 30-day ride guarantee that VIP offers, which is where I got them. And I then replaced those in May with the tires that are currently on my car, the Hankook Kinergy PT All Seasons. And those were the ones that I've been doing all my tire rotation videos on. And those have been so much better than the Milestars could have ever dreamed of. Now, I don't want to throw too much shade on the Milestars because I don't know. I don't know if it just was not a good fit for my car, or if it was just a bad batch, or what. But they were not good, for whatever reason. And the Hankooks are much better. Um, in June was a big one. In June, I had the uh, front and rear brakes done, the front and rear rotors done, and by done, I'm sorry, I should just say replaced. So yes, front and rear brakes, front and rear rotors, and the front calipers replaced, front left and right. Also in June, I had the front left and right axle washers and wheel bearings replaced, and the front left and right dust shields as well, because there was this noise that was occurring. It was like a almost like a clicking, clicking, clicking kind of noise, and I had come to the conclusion that it might have been the dust shields had started to warp and were sort of like rubbing up against the rotors occasionally. But interestingly enough, I actually, through the means of VIP, figured out that it was not that, but it was actually I can't remember what it was called, but on the CV axle, there is this little metal ring that is supposed to be sort of pressed in um, flush to where essentially where like the boot of the CV axle meets, and it's designed to help keep out like dust and debris and just weatherized stuff from getting inside that section. And it had become dislodged, and so it was actually what was causing the noise. And I was told that the only way to actually fix that was just to replace the entire CV axle on that side, the driver's side. Uh, Other than that, it's just an annoyance. So yeah, so I'm just dealing with that. But yeah, I had those replaced, the dust shields, because I figured they were the culprit, but they weren't. So I guess now I just have new dust shields on the front. In August, I um, ended up going to another shop. Um, it was sort of a friend of a friend of a friend who just had a shop, and and uh, and they had really good rates, and so I was just broke at the time, and so it fit the bill, and so I ended up replacing the inner and outer tie rods, the sway bar links, both left and right, and every aspect of the McPherson strut assembly. So the strut itself, the coil spring, the strut top mounts, um, all the bolts and nuts, like every little nitty gritty aspect. I had to spend over $130 just on bolts and nuts from GM. It was insane. Um, but uh, but yeah, so all that stuff got done, um, and and then on also in August, a few days after getting that done, I had my scheduled alignment, um, and then the last thing that happened was also in August, and that was I had to replace the active grill shutter. Um, and I actually had tried to take that on myself, removed the entire front fascia of the car, um, and discovered the uh, that the power connector had completely corroded. And when I was able to finally remove it, the pins inside of it were just totally shot. One or two of them actually had completely ripped out and fused inside the active grill shutters connector part. And so then I realized that I needed to actually have some electrical wiring done on top of having the grill shutter replaced, which was beyond me. I I couldn't handle that. So I brought it to yet another shop, which um, I probably will make my primary shop from now on because they're local to me and they did an amazing job. And they did it all in one day, and just in time for me to be able to pass my state inspection. Um, Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to work. So that was the active grill shutter plus a an elusive um, pigtail wiring harness kit that drove me completely mad because when I had ordered it, or before I had ordered it, the wire harness kit, I had researched which part I would need, so I could then have my local GM dealer order it for me, because I figured they would know best. And what I discovered was that the part that I figured I needed, every single thing online, even GM's own official parts store, said that it didn't actually fit the 2019 Bolt, but it said that it fit every other bolt in existence. All right. So every 2017 to 2023, it showed as being compatible, but it specifically stated and or removed the 2019 from the list on everything. And it didn't matter if I was looking on GM site or third party sites that, sell GM parts, or eBay listings, everything. So it was pretty stressful, because I was in a major time crunch, and I was just concerned that, I would get someone to tear it all apart and get in there and do the rewiring, and then find out that the part actually didn't fit, like everything said it didn't. Now, the dealership I had ordered from, they were also very confused, which didn't didn't help anything. Um, or help me, feel better about the whole situation. But they claimed that it was the only possible part, that could work. So I just went with it, and thankfully it did. And let me tell you, I went, oh, I went over an entire winter, probably over a year actually. Um, no, not a whole year. Well, see, the weird thing was, with the situation with the active grill shutter. You would have noticed it actually, from prior videos where I had my, essentially my service light on, and that's what the service light was all about. And so this has actually been something that's been going on for like the past 2 or 3 years, where what would happen is the service light would come on, um, around, the heavy start of winter, and I would read the code, and it would pertain to the active grill shutter, and I just figured what was happening was that it was essentially getting stuck, or just frozen up by all the ice and snow, because come springtime the service light would always go off. And I just assumed, okay, well, it's able to freely move again. But this past winter, it came on like clockwork, but then come spring, just never went off. And you know, hindsight, right? Because now I know that it was just the. Well, I mean, I can't actually say for sure if the motor in the active grill shutter, um, died as well, but at the very least, it was certainly the power connector, that had completely fried, and was, preventing anything from moving. So it was the original, also. The original, version of the power connector. The new one was, um, somewhat different looking, which also, was one of the reasons that it stressed me out, because it didn't really match. But it was just the latest revision, and they apparently had changed some stuff to try to address, exactly what had happened to my car, because I even found some service bulletins that reported that this thing was happening, in some bolts. So yeah, hopefully this new revision, and I believe it's like the third revision of this, power connector. It might even be the fourth. I don't remember, but yeah. Hopefully they've, got it figured out well enough now that it's gonna last longer. Um, but yeah, so that's it. That's everything, uh, I had done, and I still have questions about a lot of the front suspension, work, given that creaking noise I addressed in the last video I did. Um, I really I really am concerned that maybe they didn't, do something properly with the strut top mounts. Um, I forgot to mention this last time, but the shop that took 2 hours, they at the very least provided me, some important information. They told me that they could not reproduce the noise when the vehicle was on the lift. They said they figured it was because the weight of the vehicle just wasn't actually being applied to the culprit area. And so I tend to think that, well, my hope is that it is not my rack and pinion, because the warranty for that actually expires um, in about, well, on the 14th, is when I got my car back 2 years ago from having the rack and pinion replaced at a dealership. And those parts have a 2 year unlimited mile warranty. And so I would imagine if it was the rack and pinion, that the noise would be able to be replicated regardless of whether uh, the weight was on the vehicle or not. So, I would think that it would still do it when it was in the air. But if I'm wrong, if anyone knows otherwise, please let me know. Um, but they didn't seem to think that it was the rack and pinion. They were leaning more towards that probably what happened was that when they did the strut top mounts, they did not either tighten them properly, whether that's that they're loose or too tight, or that they did everything while it was in the air before letting the vehicle's weight rest on it. And so therefore they're just not seated properly. But if anyone has any insight on that, that would be fantastic. I'm all ears. And yeah, I guess that's it. I don't really think I have anything else to report. Um, this happened yesterday. I broke the 450,000 mark yesterday, but I didn't really have any good opportune times to really make a video, and I also didn't have on hand everything, a good list of everything that I had done, that I could just reel off to you. So, but okay, I guess that's it, and I'm just gonna go get my morning coffee and start my workday. Thanks again for everything. And if you made it this far, I know I ramble and I say and a lot, and so I appreciate it. You know, maybe you guys make it into a drinking game. I don't know, but the the GoFundMe is still going, and I truly believe slash hope with everything that's already happened that I will be able to get to that finish line by the end of the year of the $3,500 goal. So thank you again for everyone that has donated, and thank you for anyone that hasn't but is thinking about it, or maybe just knows someone who could toss a coffee's worth my way, because ultimately, if everyone just tossed $5 to $10, that would that would do it. So thank you again, and until next time.